Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amelia Rebecca, and if you're new here, we talk about embodying your confidence, reclaiming your beauty, owning your power. I also share some witchy tips and so much more. In today's video, we are trying a little experiment. The other day, I was journaling and I had this inspired thought to share a journal entry of mine. So I have never done this before, so we're just going to see how it goes. I was journaling about my relationship with abundance, and before I get into it, I just wanted to talk about how I have these ideas about abundance and about money and financial wealth that I don't really share too often. And I don't always own the truth that comes up for me around these topics, but I've been feeling really called to add something to the conversation. Something about abundance, I feel like, you can find so many experts that have something to say about it. People share these techniques, and to me, it feels a bit like an echo chamber where we're just all absorbing and consuming and receiving the same kind of information over and over again. And I don't know, I feel like I just have something new to add to it, and I'm still navigating through these truths for me that are sort of rising to the surface. And it's a little bit vulnerable for me, but I'm really excited about exploring this particular area because I do think it's supposed to be empowering. And I have been working on empowering my relationship with abundance and money for a while now, and it's come to my realization that I just haven't been owning a lot of the stuff that's been coming up for me for years. So that's something that I was journaling about. And what I find really beautiful about journaling is that it's such a tangible way to connect to the truth of something by getting things out of your body, out of your brain, onto paper. And sometimes for me, I can see things clearly and with a little bit more speed than I can through meditation or thinking about something. So I think journaling it's such a powerful and grounded tool for connecting to clarity. It's something that comes up for clients a lot, and I also wanted to add that there's multiple ways to journal. I know a lot of people don't particularly love just sitting down at a notebook and writing things out. So I wanted to share a couple different ways that you can journal. So I love doing it that way. I'm not precious about journaling, and my favorite journals to write in are those spiral notebooks that you get from an office supply store, and I just scribble in it and I write things out and I never look back. But you can, of course, get a really beautiful one, do like a bullet journal type thing if that's what you're feeling. But I also know people that like to draw and create art as their journaling practice. Some people like to type little notes out on their phone. Some people like to carry a little tiny notebook and just jot down ideas instead of doing a whole cognitive brain dump. Something that I've been really into lately is actually recording my voice and just speaking things out and getting things out that way, because sometimes I just like to talk things out, but I don't necessarily want to do a cognitive thing to someone else. So recording things on my phone and just letting myself talk until I get to that moment of clarity feels really good to me, and it also feels really easy. So yeah, anyway, a couple different ways to do that, and I totally encourage playing around with journaling if you're feeling inspired to do that. Now, let me share what I wrote the other day. I feel pretty good Really starting to own this awareness that I can't really ask anyone how to open myself up to abundance anymore, because those answers are within me. But more than that, it's all the revelations I've had, all the work I've done, my own discoveries about abundance that I've already been conscious of, but haven't fully trusted in myself to accept those things as truth for me. If I really believe abundance is accessible, available, if I already believe I am abundant, if I already know unlocking your abundance doesn't actually come from your productivity or from working, I need to believe in that. I feel fear right now saying this. This voice of like, no, you can't experience wealth until you've worked hard enough and gotten paid for it. Like all the work I've already done, not just for my business, but the ways I have been willing to look within myself and confront my beliefs and limitations. The ways I've pushed myself to grow and expand. That's not worth me receiving because it hasn't led me yet to an influx of sales or clients? What do you mean? I haven't allowed myself to receive large amounts of money or experience my financial wealth and freedom because everything around me says that you have to work hard and follow a certain trajectory. And I've tried to make my unconventional beliefs and what I know to be true and the way I naturally move through the world fit into their box of how to do it. I see parallels here of how I've tried to fit into other people's ideals of beauty and feeling shameful about it because I can't be who they want me to be. To being able to see how unique I am for who I am and learning to love who I am exactly as I am. To accepting and loving my body and validating my own beauty. What if my way of relating to abundance is valid? What if my methods of manifestation are valid? I love when I discover something new, a new truth is revealed. I am in love with new revelations that feels very rich to me. It's expansive and supports how much I deeply value growth, and involving my inner child in the process is also part of it. She needs to be included because she deserves to have all of her dreams fulfilled. She has a wild and limitless imagination. She is the part of me that dreams big. So if I come up against resistance, limitation, and fear, I have to tend to her and ask her what she's feeling and what she needs. I have to understand her in order to dissolve whatever I am perceiving as a block. I have to nurture what makes her happy because that feeling of childlike wonder and awe is one of my favorite feelings in the world. And I can experience that by receiving a really big check or from seeing a butterfly or going on a new adventure to somewhere I've never been before. Prioritizing my growth and nurturing my inner child and seeing the beauty in everything are my ways. They are the most loving ways I can tend to myself. They are my keys to unlocking my abundance. And a part of me has known this for so long, but I haven't allowed them to be valid. I have asked other people what they think I should do, even though many times they have been people that haven't been connected to their abundance in the ways I perceive abundance. I feel similarities with this in my relationship with love. I've read the books and listened to others for advice and made myself wrong. People who treat dating like a numbers game. When dating for me has always felt like I needed to know that person. It wasn't arbitrary. The ones that didn't work out taught me something, even if it was that I deserved more or better. I didn't treat that as a throwaway or a waste. I would truly feel grateful for realizing that because my revelations are precious to me. So I do know my depth, my love, and need for growth, prioritizing the nurturing of my inner child, and my desire to see the beauty in everything are my keys. They are my way. Accepting them, allowing them to be as grand as they are, will keep guiding me. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what I wrote because that was actually very vulnerable for me to share. I feel like I have some pretty wild ideas about abundance and about wealth and how to receive your wealth. And I haven't been following all of these things that have come to the surface for me for a really long time because I've been afraid of being judged. I've been afraid of people thinking that I'm delusional or thinking that I'm immature for having quote unquote magical thinking. I'm afraid that people are going to think that I'm too wild, I'm too whatever. And I also don't really hear a lot of people talking about abundance in the way that I really feel about abundance. And I'm not saying that, you have to just, or for me, I have to just focus on my growth, connect to my inner child, and see the beauty in everything, and then my windfall will come. I still do believe that we have to take action, but even the action, the way that I think of it, is a little bit different because that word to me, in every law of attraction teaching that you hear when people say you need to take action, I have made that word feel so loaded for me because if I hadn't seen the results of something that I've been trying to create, I would just keep going. I would keep taking actions, and I would not be able to discern whether or not that was coming from a place of trusting myself and following my own guidance versus doing something out of compensation because I'm still not seeing those results and I'm afraid to be wrong. So the way that I perceive action, inspired action now, is to imagine myself as the person that's already received those things or that's already open to those things, because the version of me that is wanting something and working towards something is a different version of me that already has it. And that person that already has it, how would she act? Because the ways that she acts are just natural to her. So when I think of actions now, I think of them as just natural steps that you would take towards whatever it is that you're calling into your life. And in this case, being open to abundance and financial wealth. So I just wanted to say that this isn't magical thinking. This isn't a little kid playing in a fantasy. It's the way that I really believe it to be true. I think that we all have our own keys to unlocking our abundance, and it's about discovering what's right for you. It's not about necessarily following techniques that other people put forth and then making yourself wrong because you've tried them out and you haven't seen anything come from them. And now I do think that there are some universal truths around manifestation and abundance and the energies of money, but I don't know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the way that we talk about crystals. It's like there's all these books, there's all these resources that have information about the properties of crystals, whether it's a clear quartz or a piece of citrine or amethyst or whatever. When you look something up about what that stone means, you're going to find the same information no matter where you look. And I feel like there's not enough emphasis placed on, if you're feeling called to work with a particular crystal, hold it and meditate with it and see what it's doing for you. How does it want to work for you? What does your intuition say? So maybe the bottom line really is just learning how to follow your intuition and discerning what is true for you and letting that take the lead, regardless of the information that's around you, regardless of who's saying it, because nobody else is an expert on what you need and what you want and how to get what you want in your own life than you. All right, so that's going to be it for today, guys. I will see you in my next video, and I'll talk to you on the camera. And if you enjoyed this, let me know if you want me to share more journal entries. They definitely don't all sound like that. Sometimes they're all over the place, and, you know, depending on what emotion I'm feeling, they are a little bit less coherent, but sometimes I really do get those golden nuggets, and once I integrate them as truth for me, I don't really do anything with them. So I thought it would be cool to share. So let me know if you enjoyed this, and maybe I'll do a few more. Okay, guys, see you later. Bye.